I didn't forget this time. Welcome to the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Bet just $1 on any NFL game, including this one tonight. If either team scores a point in that game, you get $100 in free bets when you sign up using that promo code PHNX. I'm joined by the mayor again.
Howdy, pal.
Derek?
I'm doing fantastic. Trying to get this Christmas shopping going.
Yeah, well, maybe we can make some money so we can.
That's right.
Make some more Christmas shopping going. Good weekend of football. Its slate wasn't great, but I thought there were some really fun games that were played. The Lions got their first win, much to my chagrin. That is now the third week in a row where they have targeted me as an enemy of the state.
They just like to make you look like a fool is what they want to do.
I had a couple bets, including the under and the Vikings. And I also even teased the original under up to 52 points. And it was the last thing I needed in a teaser. And Jared Goff threw a touchdown with no time left to eclipse that. But it was all made up for with Jared Goff giving Dan Campbell a hug that made me really happy. So
that was a moral victory right there for you.
I'll forgive him for that. Before we get into the Friday's picks, I just wanted to address something really quick. Jacob, I'm sorry, I'm going to take control for a second. This man is not here because he's still shrinking. He'll be back tomorrow, I believe.
Will he be? I mean, is he going to? I mean, if he's on the show, are you going to be able to see him?
I don't know.
What did the cold do to him? Did the cold have an adverse reaction, or did it help him? I don't know, but
I'm not sure. But even with all of the things he's going through with his size, he put out a really good article on gophnx.com. So if you're not a member and you want to read that small man stuff, you should. He has some really good stuff to talk about the Cardinals and their takeaways and what really is working, and that it's kind of okay that this run defense is bad because they make up for it in other areas. Just a really fun team to watch right now, the Cardinals. And that brings me to, Derek, your lock from last week was the Cardinals -7. Yeah. So congratulations on Mayor Magic coming through. Mine, as I said, was the Vikings, so we're not going to touch that. But I do want to pull up my picks from Friday. If Derek, or if yeah, there we go. 3 for 3.
Yeah, boy.
So, we love that. I did take the Seahawks money line by myself, but I parlayed it with the Ravens money line. And the Ravens went for 2, which I was happy about. I love Harbaugh and how strange he is, so that was fun. But it didn't hit. So that one hurt a little bit. Are those your dogs that are responding to my
those
picks?
Are yeah, they're excited. They're hyped up for your picks. Yeah.
We love that. Yeah. Well, and then we'll show your picks from Friday as well, because you were on the show, which is something rare.
Yeah.
No Niners money line. Well, I think you went 2 for 3, right? That under hit.
Yeah. The 49ers looked good there for a second. That ended up being a really weird game.
That game was so fun to watch.
Yeah, the first half and the second half were like 2 completely different games too. That's the other thing that was so weird about that game.
Hey, both 3 for 4 on the show. Combined 6 for 8. That's all you can ask for, really, when you're sports betting. Stay above that 60% range. We won somebody $220.
There you go, Marcus. There you go.
What did you bet on? What did you follow? Yeah, well, if you want to be like Marcus and win, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app at just $1 on any NFL game this week. Get $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. I'm a little scared that nobody's going to score a point tonight, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
What?
Yeah, trust me. Just hear me out. But usually they do score points in games. So it's usually safe when you sign up using that promo code PHNX. You get those $100 in sweet free bets and make some money for yourself before Christmas time. That's 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. Look, this is why I'm a little worried about the over and the under tonight. It's really cold and there's wind gusts and it might snow. And both of these teams are number 1 and number 2 in passing DVOA, which means they're the number 1 and number 2 passing defense in the NFL. And I know the Patriots haven't played anybody, and I know the Bills haven't really played anybody. Their offensive explosions aren't the same as they were last year. Stefon Diggs is still really good at running routes, but the production isn't even close to what he had last year, even though he's having a great year. Don't get me wrong. It's just he was on fire last year. I think the league's kind of figured out what works against the Bills. They don't really have a running game. It's just going to be a chess match tonight, division game. Weird things always happen. And this is for sole control over the division and the AFC really in general. I think these are the two best teams in the AFC right now, besides the Chiefs, who are definitely going to win the AFC. It's just a matter of time. So I'm a little worried about picking this game.
This game's terrible.
I
don't like my selections at all. I would just like to start off by saying that.
On Wednesday, I bet on the Patriots money line because I knew it would move toward the Patriots, come closer to the game, and it did a little bit. But then on the tailgate show, as I said, I told people to stay away from this game, even though I already bet on it. Now I'm doubling down. We'll throw up my picks for tonight. I got the Patriots plus 2.5, and I got the under at 41. Look, the under started at 45.5. It's only moved down. It got down to 40 this morning, and then it shot back up to 41. I'd keep an eye on that. If I were betting on the under in this game, which I'm probably going to, I back my picks, actually. I started doing that because sometimes I get really hot on this show and then I don't bet on it. And it's just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, it happens. It seems to happen all the time. Like whenever betting information I provide seems to be stuff that hits unless I also bet on it and give that information on the show. That's when I especially look like a fool and lose my money as well.
Yeah. Well, if I were what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait to see what this line does. If I see it shoot back down to 40.5 or 40, I'll probably pull the trigger and buy some points. But if it starts going up, I'm also going to buy some points to try to get to that 43, 44 range. 41 is a good number for this game, I think. I think it's going to hover right around that area. But again, this is the type of game that I hate to bet on with the over-under and the spread because both of these teams, this is a statement game. Both of these teams, you will figure out who these teams are because they're both playing their first real test tonight.
Sure.
The Bills had big blowout wins over the Texans, and the Patriots defense looked really good against Sam Darnold and a bunch of other bad quarterbacks and bad offenses. And I think they're talented both sides of the ball, but you just don't know until you play a real opponent. This could be shades of an AFC championship game. You're really going to see who is going to start in the role tonight. Is Mac Jones really a good quarterback, or is he a product of the situation? Is this defense really good, or they just play cupcake team? So we're going to see. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I hate games like this to bet on, but I love watching games like this.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to watch this game. This was the same thing with my drop this week on the tailgate show, which was the Chargers versus the Bengals,
and that was one of the weirdest things.
Yeah, that went the exact way I knew it was going to go, which was you're not going to be able to predict shit in how that game is going to go.
One of my best friends is a Chargers fan. He tweeted, are we going to get the good Chargers or the bad Chargers today? And I was thinking, I was like, well, you got both of them. You got literally both of them. You got the good Chargers in the first half and the bad in the third quarter, and then the good again in the fourth.
Yeah.
It's just that team is so weird.
And it feels like there's something to be said about that for both the Buffalo Bills and the Patriots this season. Both have been very good at times. Both have completely shit the bed and been disappointing as far as games you thought they were going to win, games you thought they would show up and be big in. The Bills obviously look like a Super Bowl contender at times, and then at other times you kind of wonder who this team is. And
they get beat by the Jaguars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The running game for both of these teams is really weird. Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. I believe Zach Moss didn't play last week, or Devin Singletary. I always get those two mixed up because they're the same damn person. But so is the other side of the field with Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris. They just switch in and out. Both really talented guys. I'm more of a Ramondre Stevenson guy. I know people that like Damian Harris more. I think Damian Harris has obviously had a better season because he's given more chances. But I think we're still going to see some shifting of the guard or changing of the guard a little bit moving forward with that team. And then their Patriots receivers are just so weird. You get Kendrick Bourne randomly doing something. They have Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, who sometimes don't even get targeted in games. It's strange. But that brings me to your picks, Derek. What are they?
Which is completely just the opposite of what you said. I'm going with the Bills. I do not feel strongly about that over. So don't listen to me. I just think this game is one of those games that, weather aside, I think that both teams would put up a lot of points, but I do take factors like that heavily into consideration. I did not think about that prior to making my over pick, but
41 isn't a lot of points. It's not a ton of points.
It's not. Like, they could easily put that up even in the first half. It's so weird because, again, going back to that Seahawks 49ers game, I thought that they were going to blow the over out of the water, and then they end up stalling out in the second half. I know they did cross the over on that game, I believe, but they didn't. Yeah, see, it was games like that looked like it was a surefire like over, and then they didn't score at all in the second half. I don't know. I'm not super confident on that, but I am confident that the Bills are going to pull this one out.
Yeah, it's I'm really stoked to see what is going on. Jacob, our producer, is texting me right now, and he just said, "I like your shirt." I don't really understand why he's doing that. Maybe he could just tell me after the show is over, because I'm live on air speaking to America.
No, he wants to compliment you now. He wants you to feel good about yourself.
Okay. Well, let's get into our props for tonight. I will let you go first.
Sure, why not?
Sorry, Jacob.
He got you. Stefon Diggs, anytime touchdown. I think that one's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
Mac Jones on the over on 198.5 passing yards. It's so low, and he isn't a great quarterback, but I think he's going to surpass 200 passing yards tonight, just on screen passes and checks and stuff like that. I don't know. I can't imagine in a game this big that he's not going to step up and at least have a lot of passing yards.
Yep. Yeah. This game, to me, usually when you have a really close battle, especially a division battle, you go with the team with the better quarterback. And I think Josh Allen is the better quarterback. However, he has thrown 10 interceptions on the year already. The most he's had in the season is 10, I believe, maybe 11. And I don't think he's playing that well right now. He definitely played better on Thanksgiving. He has such a great receiving core. Dawson Knox has looked like fucking George Kittle at some points in this season.
No kidding.
So yeah, there's some really good things to look at on that side of the ball. But away from quarterbacks, if you say these two are evenly matched, which I think right now they are, I go to coaching, and these are two really, really well coached teams. Like, really well. Jacob, I don't care. Stop texting me. Actually, I do care. I'm glad you got married at Mount Hood. I care about you. Anyway, these are two really well-coached teams from on both sides of the ball. I just think Belichick is such a chess match type of guy that he comes out and wins this game. I know it's in Buffalo, hostile environment, but Belichick doesn't give a shit about that. I think he draws up some weird plays. Their play calling's been really fun lately. Ever since they opened the playbook to Mac Jones, he's really exploded. So I like that over. I think he goes over 200. A little, but barely. I think he's going to need a couple of screen passes to break for that to happen. We'll see in this game. And that brings me finally to my props, Jacob. Cole Beasley over 31.5 receiving yards. I like his 3.5 receptions as well, but it was locked this morning. It wouldn't let me bet on it. I think too much money was coming in on it. So we'll see on that. I also like Josh Allen to throw under 33 passes. It's a little weird of a prop, but it's a coin flip. And when you give me even money or just under even money on a coin flip, I'm going to take that all day. I don't think he throws that much. I know I was critiquing their running back core and how inconsistent it was earlier today. But I just think that they're going to have to try that. I mean, this Patriots secondary has looked so good. J.C. Jackson and everyone else on the likes, the McCourties, it's a good defense. Dante Hightower is back playing really well as a linebacker, and they're getting pressure. They're getting home. Matt Judon looks like one of the best free agent signings of all time. I mean, he's been so damn good. So I think they'll stray away from passing a little bit, and that's kind of what I see this game looking like. I think that's why I'm picking the under, is because I think the Bills are going to get scared. They're going to try to run the ball. The clock's going to move. They're not going to score, and the Patriots are going to win by a little bit of points. But I could be wrong. Something completely different could happen. We just have to watch.
I took Gary V's boost, by the way, on both
I love
teams.
When Gary V gives me boost.
Scoring at least 20 points. Why? Because I don't trust Gary V anymore. I'm just going to put that out there, because I think Gary V sometimes is trying to proposition me into getting something that looks good. I just couldn't help but put money on this one. This one was a boost for both teams scoring 20 plus points, and I took it.
I don't
took
think
it.
that's gonna happen.
I took it. I took it.
I hate that. I don't
I
think that's
know.
gonna happen.
It's always there at the top of the app, taunting me, wanting me to bet on it. And today,
Gary V's a fucking fraud. He's a liar. He's a little stinker. Gary V, if you're listening to this, which I'm sure you are, because all of America is, if you know Gary V, send him this clip. Gary V, you're a fraud.
Hey, Matt's with it. Matthew Sheedy, he followed it, and he says, "Let's ride, Cap. Let's go."
Sheedy, you're better than that, dude. It's so, this game is underball all the way, and if it hits the over, it's going to be because the Bills put up 31. Guys, pleasure as always. We are here every day, Monday through Friday. I think Johnny will be back tomorrow at noon. On Friday, we are expecting a special show with an NFL analyst guest to be determined. We'll leak that when we can. If you're listening on audio, leave a nice review about my hair. Nobody has done that yet. I asked on the ASU show, and nobody's done that there either. So if you could so kindly leave a 5-star review and say something about my hair. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, turn your notifications on, leave a goddamn like. Maybe comment something under the video nice about my hair or Derek's hair or Derek's arcades games in the back. Never mind. Don't say anything about Derek's hair. Maybe say something about his hat. You can follow Derek at cap_caveman. You can follow me at Shane Deef. You can follow the show at PHNX_bets. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at noon. Thanks for watching as always, and piggity, 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 peace.